Well, this paddock, before we planted the tag on it, was bare sand and was with a little bit of capeweed and a little bit of silvergrass on it. So it was pretty much no bird life on it other than the black butts you can see in the back. But so the bird life on this particular patch of ground would be tenfold at least, because there was nowhere for them to hide or nowhere for them to go.
We're pretty much out in the middle, aren't we? We've got isolated blackbutt around here and Neutsia Christmas tree, but not a lot else.
Yeah. There may have been the same number of birds in the area, I don't know, but there's certainly a lot more right here, than there were, because there was nowhere for them to go. And what I guess, like you said, they bring the insects in, and then the birds come in.
Have there been any birds that have really stuck out in your mind here? You may have seen birds of prey going over, or looking for smaller birds in amongst the tag.
No, not that I can say I've noticed.
And with the cattle management in here, you're mentioning that the idea is to knock it down and trample it, but it will shoot back even thicker, perhaps.
Yeah, it will.
So there's potential for, as the plantation ages, there's potential for even more habitat for nesting and so forth.
Well, we're getting what we want to achieve, and that's more feed. But we're also turning the ground into relatively productive ground that was not productive at all. And we've stopped it from blowing. And
very much so.
and the colour of this soil, if you dig the soil, you'll see the colours change dramatically from the white that it was. It's a darkish grey.
Yeah, so a really dark grey sand, so they've got a lot of organic matter going down in there.
Especially these blue lupins. So what we're doing for the bird life is an offshoot and a benefit.
Yes.
It wasn't done initially for birds.
Yes.
But
yes, indeed.
we're happy to see them in there doing their job.
Good, Rob. And would you see more tag, putting in more tag in these kind of more exposed locations across the property where there are these gaps? I guess what I'm driving at there is that in time, as the tag develops into quite a shrubby layer from the air, it's possible these could provide little stepping stones for some of the birds that have been isolated in the big remnants down here that you've fenced off, and other remnants next door that have yet to be fenced. So it's possible you could get birds moving using these sites as stepping stones to move through and across the landscape.
Well, they will, because the tag is growing on the sand hills, and the sand hills are generally in a row, or they generally follow a line on the land. So that was our second year's tag there. We've got our third year tag over the back and over this way. So so it's all intermingled, if you like. And the blackbutt, the thick blackbutt that's left in the pasture paddocks, gives them somewhere to hide on the way. And
So what we've got now, we're looking at this mosaic of different types of vegetation, offering different things at different times of the year for different birds. But importantly, in these otherwise fairly cleared areas, you've got this supplementary habitat, and that's what we mean here by having commercial crops, woody commercial crops, providing supplementary habitat for at least some birds, and it can be quite surprising what bush birds do actually come in at Peter Gray's down the road. We've had robins, we've had scrub wrens, and a few other surprises actually in there foraging, and in some cases nesting in the older tag. So I think down the track we'll see that happen. We'll see those benefits reaped even more. And to me, it's a classic marriage between a production objective, as well as a kind of a habitat provision conservation objective over time.
And we've seen two wild turkeys come in.
Okay, so the bustards have come through.
They've come through, and I think they're still around. And so we'd be happy to see a lot more of them wandering around the place. And if they can get from one area to another without being spotted, then that's a good thing. And I even like to bring my grandkids out here and just sit them down in the grass and say, be quiet. And they be quiet for a while, and then they suddenly start to hear the birds, and they're really keen. And
so really, Bob, there's a number of roles and values here, isn't there? It goes beyond what people like myself see as bird habitat and cropping space as well. But there's a real social element here, and through the generations, the memories, I think you mentioned before, your 13-year-old granddaughter, I think, can remember certain times out here, and if that passes on in an environmental sense as well.
I think the grandkids will remember those sorts of things much more than, say, the shiny toy you bought them for Christmas or something.